So I kind of felt this conviction that I'm not big on YouTube in terms of showing my face. I only have one video on YouTube with my face, and it's got really nothing to do with any Rapture stuff. But yesterday I was listening to somebody else's video because I'm watching a lot like you guys. I'm watching the 16th, I'm watching the 17th, and really hoping that Joshua is right, because I know we're all maybe a lot nervous, and I'm praying to God that Joshua's right, he's not a false prophet, and if this day does happen to go by, and the 17th does go by and stuff, I'm not going to lose faith, I'm just going to be disappointed, I think, as many other people are, because we're going to be like third watch, whatever. Long story short, I'm not here to really say whether Joshua's a false prophet or not. I know that Jesus is coming, and I know that he is faithful, and I know that his timing is going to be when it's supposed to be, and I know that if there's any faults, that the fault is in us because we don't understand, or we're missing a piece of the puzzle. Long story short, we just stay faithful, we keep trucking along as I am on the road, keep moving, and we just so the purpose of this video is simply because I had my own, God really has not given me dreams, God has not given me visions, God has only really given me scripture, and I said, I'm watching September 23rd, 24th, really thinking no man knows the day or the hour, which is the Feast of Trumpets, like many of you guys, and then October 6th and 7th go by, I'm thinking, okay, well, maybe whatever, and I'm getting all the scriptures to confirm, like a lot of people, and then eventually I'm getting to the end, today's the 16th, 17th, I just looked, my brother lives in Japan, and it's almost 9 p.m. in Japan, and I'm thinking, okay, if God hasn't come by now, maybe he won't, I don't know, I mean, it's almost midnight, it's going to be midnight, 3 hours in Japan, and I know God does things, like, I'm pretty sure when Moses was crossing the Red Sea, I'm pretty sure his people were really nervous when they saw the Egyptians on their chariots running after, in full speed going after them, and they're still waiting for the sea to open. What do people call this? The Red Sea moment. And God literally does things. God can literally change a person's heart in seconds. And he'll wait, and I don't know. Sometimes I really don't know why there's all this waiting. Except for one thing. I do write books, and if you guys do go through my videos, you'll realize that I'm a book writer. I'm an author. I never thought I'd call myself an author in a million years, and I'm not here to promote anything. I'm just here to tell you that God has given me insight in some of my books on how his mind as an author, a good author, not like, but, for a good story to be told, look at all the Bible stories. There's suspense, there's drama, there's nail biting. I also race horses, and when I race horses, some of my best races, ironically, have been when I was left, when the gate opens and the horse comes out, I was left behind, and I wasn't just left behind, I was left behind by 10 lengths. A length is in horse racing, a length is when a horse is sprawled out stretched out running, it's the length of the horse from the front hoof to the hind hoof when he's sprawled out in a gallop, and so 10 horses put together is 10 lengths, and And I find even in my own stories, some of the best stories I write are very suspenseful, very dramatic. And I heard somebody once say that Jesus can be very dramatic. As we can see in the Bible, it's true. I think he is. Some people compare him to as the king of drama, the one that when he went 3 days, after he died, and then he went into hell for 3 days. He what do you call it? He put on, from what I understand, he put on a real display, and melted the faces off the demons. Had everyone come, and they thought he was they won because they have Jesus in hell with them now, and they thought that was it. We won the game, and then Jesus comes and just completely takes the keys out of the devil's hands, and then melts their faces and makes a real show out of the whole deal, from what I understand. And to me, that's very dramatic, and so God is very dramatic, and I think he is the king of drama. And I find a lot of those character traits in my own personal writings is that I try to make a scene as dramatic as possible without giving away things, or without not even but I want the reader to feel, and not just to feel. I want them to people remember feelings, and if you can make a book that people can remember through their feelings, that that book was intense, I liked that, as opposed to, that was a boring, dull book, I don't even remember the title of it, or whatever. So a great example is, a lot of us remember people. We may not remember their names, but we remember how they made us feel last. You may not see them for years, but you may see a girl or a guy and say, oh man, we had such a good time at this party. I remember how she made me feel. I really loved to, I really felt accepted, or I felt really rejected, or I felt really whatever. Anyways, the whole point of this video is to illustrate that, I guess since I'm a storyteller, if I was going to do this, maybe I would make it, if I were Christ, I don't know, I would draw this whole thing out to the very last second to see if I can save as much as possible. So maybe Christ would come at the very, very, very last second of the 17th. I'm not sure what his calendar is. It sounds like from his calendar, it's an ancient calendar that we don't understand. So yes, even if the 16th, 17th of today pass, I don't want to say Joshua is a false prophet, but it's starting to look a lot like maybe, how do I say it, the devil's in the works. But I don't want to jump to any conclusions, because I really, truly, genuinely do not know what God's calendar in heaven is. So I'm not going to condemn the man if the day passes. But at the same time, I'm just going to, maybe it's a faith deal. So, the bottom line is, I haven't had visions and whatever, a lot of confirmations like people have. I've had a few here and there, but nothing to really make me think it's a genuine, true confirmation. I've had a lot of scripture thrown at me as I dive deeper in this thing. I've learned way more about the Bible and about the book of there's the Apocrypha books that were not included in the Bible. I truly feel were in Daniel was sealed. The book of Daniel was sealed, or God told, not the book of Daniel. In the book of Daniel, God tells Daniel to seal some of the writings up, and I think he does it in two different ways. I think he literally has the Dead Sea Scrolls, which are literally sealed up and literally put in the desert, and then discovered, I think, in 1947 or right around when Israel was discovered, and when this whole biblical timeline started for the end of the world. I also believe that in our modern day 66 King James version, God has also blinded us to some things until now, and we can clearly see that. I said, God, you know, we're on the third watch now, and the scriptures are just, I'm not understanding these scriptures maybe the way I should, even though it's clear as daylight now what's going on. The only thing I can think of is what's going on in Israel, and I don't even know if it's a true or false type of peace. I just know that that obviously it's a historical events going on, biblically historical, might I add. So I was just in Virginia 2 days ago, and I finally got what I felt was a genuine confirmation, because I said, God, I want more than just scripture. I really pray for something I can genuinely see that's going on, that's confirming what's going on. I don't know about this whole 21-day thing. I don't know about. It's a little rough. Long story short, what I want to do is basically give you guys the confirmation that I had. And the confirmation I had was, this is something I can't make up. This is something that I truly believe is going on now because I saw it, and I'm just going to tell you flat out the way it is. As you see, I'm driving, and I'm driving from Florida to the Midwest right now for work. I was offered a job, a really good job, has to do with horses, and the amount of money they're going to pay me is just like, I can't reject it. In fact, I originally was in Florida. I'm leaving Florida right now, and I told the guy that yesterday, I got to his place yesterday, and I told him for another job with the horses, and this job clearly pays way better than the job in Florida. So, and here this whole time I'm thinking, I love Florida. I love the weather. I love working with horses outside, and I'm a racetrack jockey, by the way. So yeah, that's what I do. I work with animals. So of course, naturally, I'm driving, and as I'm driving to Florida, it's a beautiful, clear day. The weather's beautiful in Florida. Always is. It seems like even when it rains, it's still beautiful. Unless it's hurricane season, right? But anyways, it's a clear day. This is my confirmation now that I'm getting into, and I see half a horse, like literally half a horse's body. As if you took a horse and you're looking at it and you cut it down the middle, not this way but this way, horizontal. Or I see the face, and in the clouds I see the face, and it's a skeleton. My truck is just not wanting to play today, just kind of bouncing around a little bit. I hope I make it. I see this horse, and it's a clear skeleton head of a horse, and it's got a skeleton neck, it's got a skeleton legs, got everything skeleton, half the horse, and and it's looking at another horse in the clouds, and I'm not making this up. Just to rewind real quick, last year I lost my dog in November, and I asked Christ, I said, Lord, this dog has been with me for 15 and a half years. I just want to know I'll be okay knowing that he's in heaven, because I believe heaven's not heaven without our pets. I genuinely believe that. Why would God have the Garden of Eden, have all these animals in there, and then, and from what I understand, that they could even talk, and then all of a sudden, and that was before sin. Why would God have all these animals in a garden before sin and not have our animals in heaven, in a place of sinlessness? And a lot of Catholics, because I come from a Catholic background, and this is one of the reasons why I left the Catholic background is because I felt like the Catholic Church wasn't being honest about a lot of things. And in fact, if I were Satan, the Catholic faith genuinely, to me, feels hijacked. And the Catholics don't believe that animals have a soul. They might have a soul, but not a spirit or whatever, and therefore they're not going to go to heaven. And I thought that is the most depressing thought in the world, when the Bible clearly says we have. Hold on. When the Bible is clear about Jesus having his own horse, it's not metaphysical or whatever. Why would it be? Or it's not fake or how do they say it? Metaphorical. And even though they say, well, Jesus is metaphorical and this and that, I don't think he's metaphorical about the horses that he has. I think he really has a white horse. So I was in Saudi Arabia at the time. My dog had passed away, and I was just like, man, that sucks. I'm not even there. My mom is on the phone with me, and I'm watching my dog at the vet clinic, and they're putting him down over the phone. I thought this is a really crappy way I'd rather be with my dog at this point. And then I asked God the next day, I said, God, I really want a confirmation he made it to heaven. Surely enough, the next day, on a beautiful, clear day like this, I see such a big cloud over where I'm at the gym. And I see a big cloud, and it looks just like my dog. I could not make it up. He had the tail, he had the body, he had 4 legs, and he was running. He was running, and he had a big smile on his face. Only a smile that and I thought, well, maybe I'm seeing him, like seeing things, but I was not seeing it, because the cloud was so perfectly crafted to look like my dog. I said, that can't be an accident, and so again, so when I'm praying for this vision or whatever, I said, God, in the Bible you say you have men, you say you have men with dreams, young men and old men dreaming and having visions, and all these people are coming out with all this stuff. So I pray for my own. I pray, please God, what makes me, if you are genuinely one of those gods that do not have, what do you call it, favorites, you are an equal opportunist. No man is, higher than another. What is it? What I'm trying to say? It doesn't matter. That he doesn't play favoritism between his children. So I asked him. I said, Lord, I know I'm a nobody, but I'm asking somebody for a vision. Please give me a vision. And I didn't get one for the longest time. I'd still get more scripture or whatever. And I finally got my vision. And this vision was obviously in the heavens, and I'm watching this horse, this skeleton horse. And in this skeleton horse, he is looking at another horse, and this is a pure white horse that is rearing up. Like, if you guys seen a horse stretched out on 2 legs, obviously, this horse was fully fleshed out. He had muscles, he had everything. I could tell clearly, just the way I could tell his legs, I could tell everything about how this horse, and it looked like a fight between these 2 horses, where the white horse was rearing up, being dominant over this skeleton horse that was like, and not only that, with the white horse there was an angel next to it. But that's not it. That's not the whole confirmation. The whole confirmation is, and so I'm like, okay, well that's just, I didn't think of it, to be honest with you, as a confirmation or anything that had to do with the biblical thing. But it looks like a war going on between death and life, and each horse represented, one represented obviously death, and one represented life, with an angel in the middle, with the angels in the middle of this conflict going on. And I'm not connecting the dots at the time. I'm just thinking, I'm seeing things. But these clouds, the way they were moving, it was like 2 different clouds types. One was like the fuller, more deeper cloud. Cumulus clouds, I think they're called. Right next to these thinner clouds that looked like the skeleton that were forming. And I thought, okay, well, it's just my head playing tricks on me because I'm in the horse world, whatever. And then I get this keep watching kind of feeling. And as I'm watching, I'm looking out my window, obviously, and then I see a big pregnant belly. I could tell it was a belly. It wasn't fat. It was pregnant. I could tell, and that's all I saw was just like a belly, and it looked just like a belly. And behind the belly was a baby. And I kid you not, the baby was forming literally as it was coming. Like, by the time it came out behind from this belly, it formed into a full human being. Not a full human grown being, but a full baby. From when it started, it was a few clouds, and then it just got big, and it just took on arms, and it took on a full head. It looked just like a baby being delivered. And then not only that, the next scene I see is, and this is all moving so fast, I don't even think about taking my camera out, because I'm thinking, I've tried to take pictures of what I thought were angels or whatever in the past, and they never develop in my when I take a picture. So as I'm seeing this, I want to say vision in the heavens, because it's in the sky, I also see an angel the next minute come out of nowhere, like not a real angel, but a cloud angel, and he's standing literally over a dragon, and this dragon as the cloud is moving, the dragon at first it looks like he's looking at the angel, and the angel is clearly standing above him with the baby in its hands and ready to fly away, while at the same time I see the dragon, and it's looking up like a dog. It's positioned like a dog, and I see the face of this dragon, and it is fully developed. It looks like the dragon from Game of Thrones, the face of this dragon, and it is looking at the angel, and it realizes it missed its opportunity, even though it's been watching, and then the cloud literally turns, and the dragon is now looking at me, and it's like almost like a dream that now the dragon realizes, oh my gosh, I just lost my opportunity, and now I'm gonna go after. Well, at the time I was looking, even though it was in my truck, the dragon's head, I could not make this up. It looks just like a dragon head, and the dragon is looking at me at this point, and then it just dissipates into nothing. Because I take off I look away because it was that real looking, and I was like, no way, there's no way this is happening. And so I'm just telling you, that's my confirmation for, it's not confirmation for days, when things are going to happen, or whatever, but it is my confirmation for we are at the end of times, and I feel like that confirmation kind of told me that the birth has just happened. The birth has just happened, and this rapture thing is real, and the angels are going to come and snatch us away the moment we are born, or the moment the church is, I don't know if the baby represents, I think the baby represents Christ, and also represents the church. I'm not 100% sure on all that, but all I know is this was the vision I got, and the best way to go back is look in Bible and read scripture and see what it meant. But it was in the heavens, and I was blown away at how fast the clouds are moving to make this picture happen. And so I hope that encourages you guys. If we're still here after the 17th, I don't know what to say, because I'm not sure at what point God will reveal whatever ancient calendar he has. But I do know that if he is a God of numbers, everything will happen just as it should. So that's my confirmation video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm going to keep driving, and I hope I see you guys in the clouds today. If not, whenever, So God bless, take care, and I hope this has helped you at least know that we are in that season, and birth pains have come, and according to this vision, the baby's being born or been born or whatever, and we are going to enter into an age, if we're left behind, where the dragon truly turns on everybody and just goes after everybody in his last attempt to, because he knows his time is short. God bless and take care. Bye.